Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Reed with Rapid Response Training, and I'm joined by Lewis with LCAR Concepts. Say hello, Lewis.
Hello, Lewis. I
There
had
we
to do
go.
it. Yeah, I had to do it.
I
Um,
was I was leaving a softball out there for you.
how's my audio coming through? I apologize, guys. I'm in a hotel and I kind of feeling like Ben Stoker right now doing a video from a hotel, but the air conditioning unit's really loud, so I've got the gain turned down. If it's
Sounds good
sounding
in
all
my
right with your
headphones.
headphone, all right,
So
cool.
you're just an international man of mystery.
I don't know about that. I'm gonna stay in
Have
this nation for a while.
have gun will travel.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Yeah. Yeah.
So
Probably not going overseas anytime soon, though.
mm, yeah, the paychecks are tempting though.
Hmm. Hmm. Man, that stuff's not worth it. Like, I guess morally, I've got an issue. Like, if you were in a fight with someone, right?
Yeah.
Like, I come out of a place and like you are there fighting, dude. Like, and I think Andrew Tate said this. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, I'm fighting dude now too, or
Yes.
dudes, right? Like, I don't care who started it. Like, I'm jumping in on your side. We're gonna do what we need to do. Get out of there, talk about it, and then we're gonna be like, "Well, you shouldn't have done that, man. You fucking always getting us in fights." But there's a lot of third party syndrome. Like, my my knowledge of geopolitics and history of those other countries is not high enough for me to be like, that's they're the goodies.
So, leaving all specifics and names out of this, that reminds me of a conversation that was had uh,
Mm-hmm.
recently. It's like, hey, man, are you the good guys or the bad guys? He's like, well, it's not really that kind of thing. There's not really good guys or bad guys. Like, that sounds like a bad guy answer.
Yeah. Uh, I'll tell you what, if you thought you were the good guy, you definitely would say it right off the bat. You'd be like, yeah, oh, of course,
Yeah,
yeah, we're the good guys,
yeah,
right? Like, I mean,
yeah.
MS-13 starts, coming down the block, like blasting people, and like we go to stop them. Like, are we the goodies? Mm-hmm.
Well, and that one's an easy one because they would be like, "Yes, we're the bad guys." Like they are into that. They're into being bad guys.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's not always quite so simple.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah. So,
good
so
times.
just from a what's going on with the tariff situation and all that geopolitics stuff, like, I'm
Dude,
staying
I don't
away
even
for a
know,
while.
man. We were just
They're
talking
out
that
here killing popes. Like,
they killing popes or the popes
it,
just
it's
criminals.
hot in the world. I'm just gonna go all hot takes
All
tonight.
hot takes. Okay.
All hot
So
takes.
who's they? Who's they that killed the pope?
Oh, it's the they that it's the they that got the Supreme Court to pause all deportations.
Okay.
The same they,
The same
probably.
day.
Yeah,
Interesting.
I think so.
Interesting. And what does the Pope have to do with why
Well,
are they angry at the Pope?
how much? Well, they may not have been angry with the Pope. Um, it does.
Why did they
Hot
need him
take.
to yeah.
Hot take. Watch it. The next Pope will not be a white man,
Okay.
right? So that's one thing to that we can further push the progressiveness of the Roman Catholic religion. Will push the progressiveness, right? Pope Francis already said, yeah, priests, you can go ahead and bless gay marriages.
Did he?
He did.
I thought that was like he's like, oh, just that's not really what
They
I meant. I thought he tried to walk it back, but I don't know. I don't pay attention to the Pope.
yeah. They were talking about, and from, I haven't followed the Pope for a while. I mean, I was raised Catholic, but Catholic is not what I would identify as now. Um, like Francis was by far the most progressive of all the popes. So you had,
I feel like the
what
last
was it?
couple have been that way, though, right?
Well, that's what we felt growing up.
Okay.
But they're talking about Pope John Paul II now as if he was like,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know,
Well, it's Overton window shift. I mean,
mm-hmm,
if you look at Obama's policies, he would be a far right Republican today. If you only looked at his policies.
mm-hmm,
Um, it's same with Hillary Clinton. So, um,
yeah,
yeah, the what is normal and acceptable has changed drastically in the last. I don't know. I mean, certainly in the last like
mm-hmm.
8 years, 16
and
years.
and it's weird because we are seeing there's a big uptick in young men reaching and seeking for faith, but they're seeing a good proportion of that, especially of the men side. Like, so younger people are heading towards faith again, which
Praise
is
God.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it's awesome. It's awful that it takes a certain level of evil to be like palpable in the air on the planet for everyone to be like, hey, we should reach out to God about this. So that's sad, but however we get there, right? Um, but the young men are looking for that structure and that more doctrine. Hey, you fucked up, fix it.
Yeah.
And so it would be nice to see the Roman Catholic take that and get a very conservative pope in right now, like make Catholicism great again, or make Catholicism about Christ again and not about
that that would be nice. Yeah.
like how can I lukewarm, right? Like we know Christ, like God not a big fan of lukewarm stuff, and like
Mm.
they've just been lukewarming what they deliver in church to try and keep more people in the seats. And so, I mean, we deal with a similar thing in the training industry, man. Like, people aren't going to do the practice that they should at home. People aren't going to take the follow up courses that they should. Um, and a lot of the training industry, I think, is going towards that least common denominator. Like, um, if I don't know exactly how to frame this analogy because it, it's I think a great example, but I don't want anyone to read uh,
Mm.
into it more than
Yep.
I'm going here. Um, so if a bunch of students are failing in English class, do we just they're not doing their homework, right? So they're failing the class. So should we just teach Ebonics instead? Like, don't even try and teach the English class. Like,
Yeah.
you're not gonna practice when you get home. So here's what you need to do. You're not going to work towards this goal. You're not going to climb a mountain, but here's a bunny hill, right?
Dude, so I'll go with the training example of that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Shoulder switching. Dudes are like, it's become unpopular. And whether we're talking about a modified where we're just bumping the shoulder, or we're
Mm-hmm.
talking about switching hands entirely,
Mm-hmm.
Basically, it's become not applicable in the training world. You get made fun of for suggesting that that might be something that would be valuable.
Well, again,
Um,
and
and a
like,
big reason is because dudes are like, well, you know, you don't practice that, so you're never going to do it. It's like, well, you don't practice it.
mm-hmm.
Like,
Well, and here's a problem, and like, so, oh shit, this is another one. I'm gonna be hot take. People, go ahead, drop it in the comments, you
there we go.
motherfuckers. So there, you'd be hard pressed to like go out on this planet and find someone with more respect, love, belief in what he did. I'm talking about myself for Jaeger, right?
Sure.
Like, so people are gonna, yeah, you could say I'm shit talking Jaeger. Go ahead. Like, he was allowed to be wrong too. Like, him and I spoke enough where I could call him out on being wrong on something. So if you never had a conversation like that with him, sorry, but so he used FBI crime report, and it said that, in whatever, from year whatever to year whatever, the however many thousands and thousands of gunfights that NYPD was in that time frame, not a single officer switched hands unless their primary firing hand was injured and unusable.
Mm-hmm.
So he said, so since you're not going to do it in a fight, why practice it? I think I think that there's a slight assumption of commitment of the student when you say something like that. I think the way I'd prefer to present something similar. I agree with him 100% that 99% of people probably
Mm-hmm.
won't. They won't be proficient to the point of, kind of being ambi with a rifle. And they're
Yes.
not going to reset up all their magazines on the plate carrier and belt and stuff to be able to be ambidextrous with reloads and stuff like that, because that's not how, all the cool guys on the internet run their plate carriers. Oh shit, what's that?
All right. So uh, finish your point, and then I'll explain
All right.
this.
So, yeah, 99% of people won't do it, but I think it's something that can be mentioned and give a choose your own adventure to the
Mm-hmm.
student. And I understand, we were we I mean, I did make changes to the curriculums there. It was always evolving at tactical response, getting sharper. So we tried to cram a lot into a short amount of time. So if we went and tried to show how deep every rabbit hole could get, we wouldn't be able to expose you to as many rabbit holes.
Yeah.
But I think I think giving that, just that taster, that, hey, this, you'll be as good as every cop in New York City. You don't,
Yep.
you don't have to practice doing it. Like, you'll be able to do it just like they did. Like, you can get to NYPD officer like gunfight ability without doing that. Now that said, watch some trench video
Dude.
and and tell me that if shit's really on the line, would you like to be able to possess that ability and just have it in your back pocket. It's like,
100%.
you know,
100%. All right, let me pause this real quick. All right, we're back. Had to handle some business. So this photo, if you're not familiar, is very famous. So this is a diagram from World War II. I think it's a B-17. Maybe it's a B-29. I don't know. It's one of them. And they were trying to increase the survivability for these bombers, right?
okay.
So what they did is they like took meticulous notes, right? When these bombers would come back and they're shot to hell, they took meticulous notes on where they were shot, right? And they're like, if we can figure out where these things are getting hit the most, like we can figure out, you know, maybe ways to mitigate that, right? Like maybe we can armor these areas, or maybe we can like take some critical systems and put them somewhere else. And somebody really smart. So all these little white dots on here are like the hit marks, right? And the black areas are the no hit marks. And somebody really smart pointed out that, hey, we're studying the planes that survive. Like maybe the negative space, maybe the black areas, the negative space, those are the where the planes are getting hit that aren't coming back.
Could
so
be.
When you
maybe not, but right, like, but
yeah,
but they thought they had a complete solution.
yes. So when you were talking about the FBI crime report for specifically NYPD officers switching hands, right?
Well, everybody knows nobody's as good with guns as cops. Like they're really,
dude, and especially the NYPD.
yeah,
Those guys, those guys
they're
grow up
probably
with a
the
gun
only
in their
ones.
hand.
That's why the Second Amendment was made. Actually, it was just for NYPD. I think.
Yeah. So I think point made. I'll take that back down. But if you structure your data set to be what NYPD does, now, okay, we also have to consider why do it be like that?
Yeah,
because
that is how it be.
Yeah, people don't think it'd be like that, but it do.
Well,
dude, because like NYPD
eight-pound triggers don't help. Shooting your gun only once or twice a year probably doesn't help.
That's what I'm saying, man. And like, it's a different. NYPD is a different place. It's like a different agency. Like, even for police, NYPD is not a good apples to apples comparison.
Yeah.
And then, okay, if they're never transitioning hands, like, okay, why? Right? Like, are they ever trained to do that? Do they ever get the opportunity to practice that? And then additionally, like, there's other factors that I can say from having a law enforcement background. Like, okay, if you're on patrol and you're rolling around with 4 dudes in a car, right? Or you've got 2 dudes on a foot post, like, you're never alone. I mean, realistically, if we're always outnumbering the bad guy, I mean, how much of this, like, it's not mano a mano, like,
just having one more dude, like,
bro,
on
it's
your back,
it's
or
200% more.
Yeah.
Or it's 100% more. It's
but each dude, I think it might be a little bit more. It might be like a 110, right? Like,
yeah,
or 210, because I might get a little bit more risky. I may pie that corner faster because I know you're there behind me.
Yep.
To back me up. And if I catch the first round, like, you'll put him down, drag me around, or whatever. We could make a million situations, but think about it. When you were alone at a bar versus when you were there with buddies, like
Yeah.
you have an extra confidence which can only help you in a fight.
Yeah.
And we don't have that as civilians. Like
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
LCAR, lone civilian. Like let's understand what we're talking about. And yeah, we might be hanging out, and there might be a great bonus,
Bro, my luck ain't that good.
but yeah, me either. But like if we can operate, fuck, I said it.
Hell yeah, brother.
I didn't mean it in that context. If
Sure.
we can function solely in a way that's optimized and then join a team or add in another person, that'd be awesome, right? I mean, I think we saw some changes in active shooter training over the years where they were like,
Yeah.
go, like, all right. So I guess the 12-man stuff, if that's all we practice, then just going by myself is going to be all funky. But if I practice
Yeah.
to go by myself all the time, and now I got 11 other dudes, this should be a little bit easier.
Yeah. It's for sure. So I think but bringing it back around, it's important to keep in mind the context of what we're talking about when we're making comparisons.
Mm-hmm.
It's not, sometimes it works, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, um, like cover's cover, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
using cover for, a citizen who's out there, under attack, like doing whatever, versus a police officer versus like a military guy, like putting something between you and the bad guy that's going to stop bullets,
Yeah.
and then minimizing your exposure,
Well, that's
thereby
yeah.
like increasing your lethality while decreasing your vulnerability. Like that kind of translates, but not everything
Yeah.
does.
Yeah. There's nuances in the what did you say, while limiting exposure, um, you know nuance on that stuff, like
Sure.
i'm up I'm up at Thunder Ranch taking class from Clint with James, and they do the other knee on cover, and so I'm like, the way I've learned it, like, I don't want to get shot in that knee, I'm going to put it on the earth, and then I'll lean out and expose about this much of my head and my muzzle, and that's all they really need to see, or they might not even see it. Um, and like, I asked James about it, and like, I messed it up a couple times, you know what I mean? And so like, they come over to coach me, and they're like, "Hey, get that other knee up so you can get your elbow on it. It's a more stable shooting platform." Like, because their stuff was more military based. So I've got a team of dudes. One of them's got like a cross on a big bag of shit, right?
Yeah.
And our tactics are designed for the team to succeed, not so much for each individual to survive.
Yes. Yes.
So
There's a acceptable number of
mhm.
casualties for an operation.
Yep.
And like, if my operation is like, I'm going to go to the store and like come back home with my kid, like I got about a 0% acceptable casualty rate there.
Yeah.
Um,
It's hovering right there at 0.
yeah, right around 0. So
And that's where it's staying too.
yeah. And I think so. That's a big thing, that this is basically just the Tactical Response Show. I can't do a single episode without saying saying tack response and James about 79 times, but
Yeah, hey,
that's a
it's it,
big
it's
thing.
awesome and it's cool. It's cool that stuff like this is happening because I watched another. I think it was a live stream. Two other dudes. Um, I'm not recalling who it was, but it's two other dudes who are instructors, and like the amount of times they referenced James in the course of 2 hours was pretty cool.
Yeah, I can't help it. It's very funny.
Mm-hmm.
Not that I'm trying to help it, uh, but one of the big takeaways from tactical response is a specific piece of mindset where not being shot is more important than shooting the bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
And if you build your house on that foundation, like it looks different than houses that are built on the foundation of I want to shoot people better.
Yeah, it does. It very much does. If if you're true to it,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? Because at this point, James might have been early in saying that, right? And kind of teaching that stuff and movement on the draw. And so, he was doing stuff that then they were like, he was the crazy guy. A lot of that stuff has become normalized. So I think in almost any class you go to at this point, regardless of whether they've been to tactical response or not, I think to a man, anybody teaching firearms in a defensive context um, is going to say that, you know, not being shot is more important, like making it than shooting the bad guy.
I've never heard anybody else say it.
Oh yeah,
I've never asked it. I've never asked
yeah,
it.
no,
But
I've heard it a bunch.
okay.
I've heard it a bunch, and then I've heard it in 2 day classes without moving drills. Ponder that.
Mm. He said, we're going to put our feet right here and shoot this build drill for 2 days.
Dude, that like Calvin got really twisted at that. Like, I don't even
Dude,
know what class that
that rant is
was.
one of my favorite things ever.
Yeah, but yeah, it's serious. Like you said, if you
Yeah.
build on that foundation, your shit's gonna look different. It's going to be different. Um,
And not by the casual observer, but
no, but from the
yeah.
ground up, it's
Yeah.
completely it's a boxer fighting a wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
But it just it's completely different, um, and it should be it it should be. So if
Yeah,
that
agreed.
is your priority, like, I mean,
And
that
and
everybody's gonna
if
laugh,
is
but
a go ahead.
I was gonna say people might laugh, but I mean, there's a column in uh, shit my house. I just moved out yesterday. Um, you know, on the porch, but it was flat ground. Like, I've been out there and just practiced taking like 4 steps and my movement around that as if it were a corner and I were trying to make the turn around the corner, like working on foot placement and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you say you care about movement, you believe you should care about it, you have to put in work for it. Like, it's not just going to come. Like
Yeah.
that cornerback in the NFL, like his feet don't just magically keep his body in the air. Like the amount of times that they're doing, like don't do a cross step, you're gonna fall. That motherfucker's got millions of dollars on the line if he falls. The Super
Mm-hmm.
Bowl, the fucking Wheaties box, the fucking all of it, right?
Yeah.
and there's every NFL weekend, there's, whatever, 3, 4 receivers, 3, 4 cornerbacks per team. There's a lot of dudes out there who can cross step like a motherfucker.
Oh yeah.
Very rarely fall.
Yep.
And
Well,
at a
you're talking
faster
about.
speed than your cross step will be.
Well, you're talking about like you got to put in the work. I mean,
Hmm.
yeah, those dudes have been doing it since they were first grade.
Hmm. And there's very little incremental, um, tangible or quantifiable gains on stuff like that, right? So you can't put your finger on it. You can't see that this past one
Yeah.
hour made me improve. It's like the baby growing up thing. You just don't notice it. So, I mean, I can go out. I could go to the range right now, and just for Calvin, I could shoot a bill drill,
Sure.
and I could shoot for another hour, shoot another bill drill. Guess what? My score is going to be better than the first one. Like, so I could be like, I got better. Yeah, I'm getting better today. Like, I put in work to get better at shooting today. But did I really, or did I just warm myself up? Like,
Easily quantifiable does not necessarily translate to anything that we're actually looking for.
right.
Yeah.
I think a lot
But
of people, and it just came up in the group chat. Like, I think a lot of people that, I don't know if it was Evan or Mike, probably Mike who said it. Like, that's the thing. They were talking about people not signing up for radio classes, and like I am saddened by that fact that Evan said, he's had over 700 students take his radio class, and that only less than 20 of them were tactical response alumni. Because I made a video right after taking that class at tactical response, and I told the alumni that, like, next to the trifecta, take that class. Like, that's how transformative it is. Like, it'll open your eyes to another rabbit hole that you need to be good at.
yeah,
And
it's everybody can shoot, like James would say that. Like everybody
mhm.
can shoot. Um, and but
But people spend 6 months to get their, you know, 25
not
yard B8
not everybody
untimed
can make
B8
this work.
score. Yeah, that's very
Like
true.
not everybody can make this work. Everybody can
Yeah.
shoot. Like all the guys that are in this thing can shoot. And yeah, some can shoot a little bit better. All right, fine. Like um you are if you can make this work, you're an asset. And I'm
Yeah.
I'm preaching to myself here because I
Me too.
wish I wish I was better.
Me too.
Um, it's
As I
like
was saying it to them, I'm
yeah,
mad at myself. I haven't done a lot of homework, and I haven't, built it into everyday life, to stay sharp on it. But it is I at least know the capabilities, and I know what I'm missing
mhm,
by not getting better in it.
yeah,
I can feel guilty about not being a better radio operator and not knowing, like, because that guilt will eventually get me to do it.
yeah.
If
Well,
you're not
and
even
and
going to
you know where to look
class,
for you know where to look for the answers too.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know what
Well,
questions to ask, and
and I may have heard it in the class. I don't remember it offhand, but after 10 minutes of messing with it, it may click.
yeah,
Right? Like, I may be able to recall that info from the class. I at least expose myself to the class, to the capabilities of it. Like, when I was packing up, I bought a bunch of stuff from Evan right after the class because he was, he's talking about all the things you can do
yeah,
with a simple radio. And I'm like, well, that's a great idea. like I could see potentially wanting to set one of those things up or need one of those things. Like, yep, I'm going to need that piece of hardware. Like, so I got all the gear.
Yeah.
My mindset, I think maybe a little lacking because I haven't followed through on necessarily exactly how to efficiently implement that gear, right?
Yeah.
Like, again, I might
It's
be able to rack my brain. You give me 3 days and I got to make it work. And I might be able to fudge my way through it because Evan showed us how.
yeah.
But if I didn't have that class,
Oh,
I'd
there's
have
no way.
probably
No way.
I'd have 5 less radios in my house. I
Yeah.
know that for one, like right off the bat. So that makes me a force multiplier. Just the fact that I could start handing radios out to some people,
Mm-hmm.
like, so yeah,
100%. All right. Let me pause this one more time here.
yeah.
All right. You didn't get rid of us that easy. We're back. Um, so talking about things that are difficult that people aren't going to go do put the work in, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, you'll never transition your rifle to your other shoulder in a fight, so we're not going to practice that. We're not going to train that, right? Is the example we were talking about.
Mm-hmm.
There's other examples, I'm sure. I'm not.
You
You have one?
won't there. Yeah, like some people will run drills where you start with like an ammo box, like the little plastic tray that's in the ammo box to like sim a cell phone,
Mm-hmm.
and then the fight command comes or whatever way you start the drill, and you gotta ditch the phone, get your gun, right? So like what you see is a lot of people are like on the start, they'll be there and they'll be like this, and then they'll go and like throw this thing to the next
Yeah.
county and then come back to
Yep.
get their gun. And it's like you could just let it fall. So now we're practicing like nuances of efficiency
Mm-hmm.
while
Yeah.
and you might get some people that would say, well, in order for that to be habitual, it requires 10,000 reps plus 1,000 reps a year thereafter, or something crazy. Otherwise, don't practice it.
Yeah.
And it's like, because then you won't be able to do it because under stress, you clinch grip. But under that logic, then that means there's no way my gun's coming out. So do I just bend over? Like if I get attacked while I'm on the phone, do I bend over? Like what
Yeah,
do
you
I
just
do?
gotta accept. You gotta accept your fate. So, here's where that argument could lead, right? If you're gonna follow that logic, and like you don't train this enough, so you'll never do it. So why bother? It's like
Why buy
you'll
a gun?
never look at your sights in a gunfight. Like, should we go ahead and grind those things off? Because like you'll never see them in a gunfight.
Yeah, grind them
Like
off.
we just get that 4-inch angle grinder out, that Dremel
Yeah.
special, dude. Like, or
You
could we just practice to use our sights?
right. Yeah. You won't practice to become proficient enough to find the dot or the optic. Or you will use your pistol light to fucking
Yeah,
direct traffic.
yeah.
Like that's a good one because one, no,
Oh
I
shit.
probably won't use my pistol light to direct traffic, right? Like
The
I probably
traffic
won't
director.
because I'm no fucking traffic director. Like I don't even have a good whistle or white
that's a
gloves.
that's a
Like
that's the name of this gun is the traffic director.
I like it. But yeah, like so that tells me the you won't, either we can start replacing words, right? Like there's weird stuff that happens in language, like gun industry is more about making money than, you know, good guns or like, sorry, Sig, um, you know,
Damn.
like
I was
pushing
just talking about that
technologies.
today.
And so, or training industry,
Mhm.
right? Like a lot of people in the training industry make more money selling merch than they do training, right? Like Harley Davidson makes more money selling merch than motorcycles. So are they a motorcycle company or are they a merch company? Like you have to be careful of that second word. We're going to
Mm.
the tactical games, right? We're going to a shooting competition. Like the, these second words that are attached to the thing you want sometimes can bite you. And I'm
Oh,
sorry
for sure.
I ran my weave a little wide on that one, and I lost how we got there.
That's good. It's good.
What did you
Yeah.
say?
Oh, I don't know. Something retarded.
No.
Oh, the traffic director, dude.
Oh no,
Yeah.
that's what that it brought me back.
There we go.
Um, the you won't.
Yeah.
Anytime you hear that, you can either ask the question why, right? You could ask the question, what leads this person to believe that, you know, they know, or are they qualified to tell me what my capabilities are, right?
Yeah.
So, so you
Or what they
won't,
could be, or what my
right,
capabilities could be. Yeah.
right. So you won't anything should be like, well, let's consider this. It requires, as soon as someone says something like that, like you've got to ask that follow up question. And I'm not saying that there are no you won'ts that are accurate, right? Like you won't like it if you get hit by a truck, right?
Yeah.
Like yes, it does. Like I haven't, but also like this is just a statement of fact. The
Yeah.
you won't switch your shoulders when I can be like, you know, World War III is on fucking the internet already. So
Dude,
like there's
they're
guys
doing
switching
it.
shoulders there.
They're doing it, and there's a reason they're doing it.
There's a reason they're doing it, and their level of training in it may not even be that high. Um, but there is a very important reason they're doing it.
Yeah. Like, turns out they don't want to
They
get shot in the
probably,
fucking face.
yeah, they probably saw someone not doing it,
Yeah.
right? We can talk safety manipulations till we're blue in the face, in theory, and then we can watch them, watch the IDF as they were tearing Gaza apart. Safety manipulations, right?
Safety manipulations is like full auto mag dump.
Like you have to this, you have to that, you
Yeah.
can't this. Like you see a lot of stuff. So maybe, but then everyone will say, train how you fight. So maybe we need to
That's why
look
I'm
at the
always
fights.
drunk.
Yeah, like we need to look at these no bullshit fights,
Yeah.
and even let's get away from the war, right? Because the lone, let's get back to the lone civilian. Like watch all the active self protection videos or all the Brazil stuff, like all the closed circuit attacks, and like we need to glean stuff out of that, not
Yeah.
so much the laboratory of the mind.
Yeah. The uh, mental repetition is beneficial
Mm-hmm.
if that is something that is like mentally rehearsing riding a unicorn is not going to benefit me.
Right.
It just isn't, right? If I mentally rehearse like the game winning shot, like I mentally rehearse like stop, right?
Mm-hmm.
That can be beneficial. But the
But when you're developing what you want to mental rep, right? Like when you're deciding, you know, what tools for your toolbox. I know some people don't love that, but when you're trying to decide what makes sense for me, right? Because I'm a student, you know, of this shit. Like,
yeah.
so I I still do it constantly. Like, well, what makes sense for me in my
Mhm.
situation right now? I don't have kids. You know, the this that. Like, my answer might be much different than yours is right now. You know.
Oh, that reminds me of something.
Go.
Yeah. So we were talking about it's more important to not be shot than it is to shoot the
Mm-hmm.
bad guy.
Yep.
And you said if that is like what you're doing. And
Mm-hmm.
I want to point out that if is an important word there
Mm-hmm.
because even if you're the truest believer in that, there are exceptions, and
Mm-hmm.
you got to be able to know to when to use what tactics. So
Are you meaning sometimes it's just more important to shoot the bad guy?
yes,
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
yep.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So like a hostage rescue, like I've decided that the safety of the hostage is actually more important than whether or not I take a hot one,
Yep.
right? Um, Active shooter is another one. Like, there's a whole big debate
Yep.
about if you should involve yourself in that sort of thing. Um, and I can understand.
Mm,
I can understand the debate.
I can.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
the and I mean, here's the real easy one, right? So I've got a small child, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like if I'm with the child, bro, I ain't getting my gunfight on. Like how, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like now, if I'm out with my parents and I can send him with them in like a reasonable expectation of safety,
Mm-hmm.
maybe that's a different story. I can get my
Yeah.
gunfight on. But um like
Yeah.
as
You're
much
you're
as
you're
much as
basically you're in executive protection mode,
correct. Yes.
right? You are a one man private security detail for your child.
Yes.
Like that. I'm I am the agent in charge of my own security detail.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So yeah, we
Yes.
got two totally different art. Yep,
Yeah.
exactly. And
It,
and we should be aware of that.
mhm. And
And and
for me, like that is so much of who I am that I have to be aware of it in the reverse, where it's like
Mhm.
I can't go jump in.
Yes.
Like
Yeah, yeah.
I have this other priority, and like
Like he's making a move, but I can't get it on.
yes, and honestly, like uh, so I went out to North Carolina, and like it was after Hurricane Helene, and it was great. I had a very short time I could do that, and I'm like sitting at home, like wishing I could be going back. And as bad as I want to help, like I have to, like my primary job is dad,
Mm.
and I can't abdicate that to go do cool stuff that I find fulfilling. Um,
Yeah.
there's plenty of people do that, and they're called bad parents.
Mhm.
Like, um, so, but yeah, it's one of
Yeah.
those
In a
things.
couple
And
years, you'll be able to
sometimes,
drag them with you.
oh, dude, I can't wait. He's, bro, I told you what he said the other day. Um, I was driving him someplace, and he said something in the back seat, and I shut the music off, and I was like, "What's that, buddy?" He goes, "I'm gonna work and I'm gonna help people," and I was like, "Dude, I was like tearing up, man." I was like, "That's awesome."
Yeah.
So I can't wait to bring him on all sorts of adventures.
Yeah.
But he already told me he saw the video of the night shoot at SUT, and he told me that he was going to shoot the guns with Daddy, and he was going to shine the flashlight.
Hell yeah. Yep. I like it. He's already interested in low light.
Oh,
Another
dude,
thing nobody wants to
he's
fuck
psyched
with.
in low light. He's got his own. He desperately wants this, but he puts the hot spot right in the cornea. So um,
So he's
he's
already
got,
good at, he already
yeah.
knows where to shine the light.
Well, he told me, well, because he gets scolded for that. And he told me, he goes, "I'm gonna shoot the guns and I'm gonna shine the flashlight." He said, "But I won't shine it in their eyes, though."
Oh no. No, don't give the kid a training scar just because it hurts your eyes.
Listen, we gotta also make members of society that can exist. Like, uh, yeah, he needs to know what's impolite. Uh,
He might need to know how to shine the light in someone's eyes.
Bro, he doesn't need to practice. He's so good at it. He's born with it, dude.
He's just born with like flashlight point shooting abilities.
Bro, he's so good at it. Oh man, he was just playing with it. I thought it was laying right here, but it's not. Yeah, I got him a little Harbor Freight guy. Because I can't have him doing it with the Surefire. I tried that.
Yeah, here you go, buddy. This has 30 lumens.
Yeah. Honestly, bro, the freaking LED in that's probably too bright. Like
Yeah.
I gotta get him like a mag light or something. But oh, dude. Anyway, um, man. Okay, so the funny thing is, we talked about something that we might discuss, and we haven't talked about it once yet.
I'll throw it
Um,
out.
so you were saying summer love,
Oh,
get
yeah.
ready. Like if you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready,
Yeah.
and that you anticipate some violence coming up. That it might be a good idea to be trained.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it is of the utmost importance. I'll quote Super Dave Harrington on this one. You can only be as prepared as you prepare to be. Um, there's there's a lot of stuff going down. I mean, I kind of took my eyes off of politics for a little while, and like, you know, because being being in the firearms training space, like it seemed like if the election went the other way, like they may have been already rounding us up for our paramilitary uh,
Yeah.
training. So was very happy that did not go that way. Especially living in Camden, like it's already kind of on the radar. So happy that didn't happen, and you know, like we do when these elections happen, then we kind of slump down. But now, and it seemed like they were backing down, and they realized that that mandate of the popular vote is like, okay, the people want the things the people actually want, right? Like nobody wants 20 million extra people like in the country that we're giving money to. Like, find me someone who wants to send $20 right now to like a Tren de Aragua guy. Like,
Well, that's the hot take right here. So I've got a hot take back.
okay.
Is someone on a certain side of the aisle, right? People, I shouldn't say someone. People on a certain side of the aisle are statistically the least charitable.
Yeah.
That what they do is they say, "Oh, the government should take your money and give it to these people." Like, this is just a fact, bro. Like, you
Yeah.
can look it
Yeah.
up.
Dude, I heard Jaeger
Like,
tell that to a homeless dude.
Lowest levels of philanthropy.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's an abdication of personal responsibility, and you see that with all sorts of stuff in life. Like, it's not limited to politics. You can look at education. Like, whose job is it to teach a kid how to whose job is it to raise a child, right? And there's
Parents.
correct. And that is a hot take in 2025, and it ought
Like,
not
I
be
don't
taken.
have one yet. Am I right though? Is that the right answer, Reed?
Correct. And that shouldn't be a hot take, but that Overton window, dude.
Well, don't worry, because states are passing laws where they'll be able to take them from you anyway, so that they can raise them right.
Yeah, I'm gonna not respond to that.
Yeah, that's probably best.
So
yeah, hot take after hot take on that one.
yeah. Oh no, but so regardless.
Sorry, yeah. So parents' job to raise the kids.
It's an abdication of responsibility, right? So
Mm-hmm.
like, we're gonna send this kid to daycare and to school, and they're gonna be raised by the professionals, right? And I mean, it's with everything. So I think part of what being a good American is like taking up that mantle of personal responsibility and being the person that is going to have an effect. So, like, if you think, hey,
would you say like almost like we should all kind of try and be like Jesus a little bit?
I would say yes. I would say yes. But
interesting.
Yes, I know, it's crazy. So yeah, I don't know. Like, if you think your kid needs to be raised, like, maybe you're that person that ought to be raising that kid. Like, if you think, hey, there's this cause I believe strongly in, like, hey, maybe that's you.
Go.
Like, maybe
you
get involved.
The trans rights are Palestine rights people, or Palestine's freedom is trans love, or I forget what the chant was that they had going, but like, that dude should totally book a flight, or they them should book a flight.
That human.
Yeah, that
however they be.
Hey, home skillet. You should go over there, help them out, see how that goes for you.
Yeah, well, yeah, I'm weirdly on their side a little bit. Like, hey, maybe we don't need to send $1 bazillion to be involved in that.
Yeah. Again, and us not wanting to pay, like, dude, I don't know, everybody's finances, but like, I don't have a shit ton of extra money laying around.
No.
So if I could keep that here,
to
Like
fight a war that like I
in
don't.
this country, I'd
Yeah,
I'd rather send it like with you to North Carolina,
yeah, yeah,
something like that maybe. Um,
for sure. So uh, we're at an hour, but we haven't hit
yeah,
we barely hit the topic. So let's go
yeah,
like
yeah.
give me wave tops. If what you expect to see, what do you think people ought to be training? So like, let's say they've taken a class before, but they're not decades in.
Okay. Medical
Okay.
first and foremost, because that's another thing a lot of dudes will put off. And it's all ego stuff, man. It's our fear. It's facing that fear. People train shooting all day because I'm gonna win the gunfight I'm in, right? Like I don't need medical because for me to put a tourniquet on my arm, I have to accept the fact that that means I might get hurt. Like so,
Mm.
and that's scary, right? So you have to accept that fact and open yourself up to it. But there's probably nothing more important. Uh, I may be exaggerating here for effect, but medical skills, the ability to stop traumatic blood loss, just that in itself is something every human being, I think, really, really should have.
I like it.
I'm going to show you. Let's see if we can make this work with my low tech screen share.
Well, you know how high tech I am over here, dude.
I got this one from Paul Markle today. Can you see what's
Dude,
happening there?
oh, I can, yes. I've seen that happen IRL, dude. I've seen that happen in real life. Yep. So, for those of you who can't see what's going on, there's some sort of an injury to the lower capsular region, and they're
Of one
attempting
officer,
of an officer, and another officer is attempting to tourniquet uh,
her ankle.
the ankle. Yes. So I've seen that in real life, dude. So
Dude, what
I
the
roll up
fuck?
on this I roll up on this shooting, and I was far away. So I don't know, sixth, seventh person there. Like, there's a lot of people there, and I'm
So you
like,
hold your gun up high and shoot in from the back.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Um, he said, so anyway, I started blasting. Uh, so um, I roll up there and I'm like, grab the go bag. I'm like, I probably had my rifle. I'm like, dude, I'm like, this is gonna be great. Like, I'm gonna be the hero. And I roll up and I see one of the guys who he was a prior Marine. I don't think he was ever in combat, but like, I mean, we get better in the academy, and let alone like in the Marine Corps. Like, you ought to know better, bro. I'm not totally sure what he did in the Marine Corps. Maybe he wasn't an infantry guy, but and
Every Marine is a rifleman, I think.
yeah, that's the rumor. Um, so, but there's this like 16-year-old kid, and he literally in the ankle, like in the round part of the ankle bone, he has a gunshot wound, and he's putting a tourniquet on this guy's leg. And I roll up there and I saw this, and I'm like, ugh. all right, I guess I'll go set up crime scene tape or something. Like, I don't want to be a part of what's going on here. And if this is what's happening, clearly this ain't that bad. So,
But
um,
wait, so the dude was shot in the ankle bone?
yeah,
Where and the tourniquet placement was on top of the wound?
I didn't even stick around to watch it, dude. I saw it was happening. I was like, I'm not. No, I'm gonna go find something else to do.
Because, like, I mean, if he put it up high and tight, it was just better safe than sorry, kind of, whether it needs a tourniquet or not.
It didn't.
Yeah. Well,
It didn't.
hey.
Um,
But still, I would give him
yeah.
points for a correct application, right?
Yes. Yes.
Like,
Now the application was it was on the lower leg. I can't say it was on the ankle, but it was
it,
not. It was on
it
the
was
lower leg, the
like
lower
three
extremity.
inches above 3 inches above the wound or something.
Oh,
Mm.
I got my tape measure. Got to make sure I'm 3 inches, dude.
I can't, I bring mine with me. Got my
Sweet,
3 inch measuring stick, baby.
sweet mother. What do you do with the extra inch and a half? Uh, uh, I didn't know we were out here dick bragging, dude.
But yeah, no. So medical
All right,
skills.
medical.
Yeah, draw it back to what people are going to need here
Yeah.
coming up. Again, like they're still vandalizing Teslas. We're not like it, again. We're going to be referencing James for eons, man. But
Oh yeah.
um, I threw myself off now, and I don't even know what I was going with the reference for.
Vandalizing Teslas. They're still vandalizing
Oh,
Teslas.
yeah. When he's like, yeah, when some crazy dude like shoots up a school and people are like, why did he do it? Like, it's easy. Like, they're fucking crazy. They're not like you.
Correct.
Like, after the first dude got famous for vandalizing a Tesla, getting caught on camera because all Teslas have cameras,
They have
and
69 cameras all over them.
like after the first dude got caught and went viral for doing it, you would think they'd be like, all right, well, ixnay the Tesla vandalism stuff. We got to think of something else. Like, at least from an individual standpoint, like, but no, they're at the point of bent on this stuff where like they're just open. They're doing it in the open. They know like they're gonna get caught, and they're still doing it.
The it's because they're involved in information warfare. They're not interested, bro. Vandalizing some random dude's Tesla is doing nothing. Like
Yeah,
this is accomplishing zero things when it comes to like the socio-political landscape of the country, and certainly not like global, right?
yeah.
But if they get on the news for doing it, now that has an impact.
It's
Um,
backlash against Elon, but
it's
it's negative, and it's like like some of these people, and they said they're going to classify it as domestic terrorism. I don't know if anybody's actually been brought up on like the hot charges for it, you know, but like one of the people, like we're talking about professionals in their 40s and 50s. Some of these people, one of them was a therapist. She had a brick that she carved a swastika into a brick, wrapped it in a garbage bag, and carried it around with her on her fucking Razor scooter until she found a Tesla to drop it on the windshield. Like they're taking steps. They're not afraid to be violent.
oh yeah, for sure.
They're feeling that they have the moral superiority somehow. I don't know. I don't know how
Makes
because
sense if you
because
don't think about it.
because like 90% of the country wanted, to kind of get the migration going the other way. And now, we're just kidnapping citizens off the street and sending them to El Salvador, I guess. So they think they're next to get fucking abducted and brought to Supermax in El Salvador. Like, there's going to be something. I don't know. I don't want to do like an Alex Jones and try and predict the future on what they may try and plant or set up as like a false flag thing or something. Like, they're trying with this nonsense that the Kilmer guy or whatever his name is, the MS-13 dude. Like, they're trying to make big hubbub about that. I mean, you still got the stuff.
I don't know about that. What happened?
MS-13 dude, alleged, or no, actually, I believe 2 courts found him to be a member of the MS-13 since he's been here. Known to have human trafficked, like self-admitted, but had another problem with a different gang in El Salvador a couple years ago, 2020. Got brought up on domestic violence charges. Then they're like, hey, we're going to deport you. Then he came up with well, I can't go back to El Salvador, so because the other gang wants to kill me, I need
asylum,
refugee status, whatever. And they were like, yeah, no, but we'll do this thing where like we won't deport you back to El Salvador, like, so figure out where you want to go and go, kind of thing. And so now that's why they're saying legally here, like they just never followed up to deport him anywhere else. And then the dude who's running El Salvador kind of cleaned the country up. And plus, you're an MS-13 member, like fucking like like known, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which just got designated terrorist organization. So it's like, all right, follow this line of questioning. Like, here's a list of of organizations and groups defined or listed as terrorist organizations by our government. Is MS-13 on that? Yes. Right? Like, imagine asking one of these people these series of questions. Like, is MS-13 on it? Yes. So if someone is a member of a terrorist organization, that would make them themselves a terrorist, correct? Yes. Okay, so that guy's a terrorist, correct? Who allegedly beat his wife and trafficked other humans too.
Hey, man.
And you're arguing that we need to go to El Salvador to bring him back to Maryland so that he could have his day in court on whether or not he should be allowed to stay in Maryland when he already had court due process that said America ain't the place for you. But we ain't going to send you back to get you killed either. Like, and that's the dude they're trying to, but that's the thing. They didn't know that he had all that baggage when they brought him out. They were just saying a Maryland man was wrongly deported.
I heard. So I heard about this. I think I heard about it on Rogan. And dude, that Rogan Tim Dillon one that just dropped.
I'm gonna have to listen.
You're gonna have to. But yeah, they were like Maryland father.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Maryland father. Yeah. All right.
So yeah, I don't understand. Like, obviously they're not dealing in logic and rationality. Yeah. That's like that's a safe assumption to make. For us to make. I mean, look at 2020. Like it it happened, dude. It happened. People were getting pulled out of fucking cars. Cars were getting stopped up. They were stopping cities up. They're making chases and chops and
Well,
like.
we had. So here's something about 2020 that, bro.
And now we're on the
The
brink of World War III.
yeah.
The new world order, like the fucking one world government is getting double crossed, got double crossed by China. Then like there's so much shit out in the ether. Trump's trying to start a whole new world order of making America great again and like bring everything to that. Like let's get to fair. Like you want to trade with me, I want to trade with you. All right, you send my stuff, I won't charge you a tariff. You send, you don't charge me. Sounds fine. One hand washes the other. Sounds like business. And so if he's trying to move towards that, so there's so much stuff going in so many areas. How many known terrorists came into our country in the last few years before the 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 gangs were designated terrorists? I'm talking like the overseas terrorist kind of
Mhm.
peoples. Like how many of them are here? Like they said October 7th was a practice run for what they wanted to do over here. How many of them got in through that porous border? Like, man,
Well, they didn't even need to. Like, I'm sure people got in through the border, but um, I mean, Afghan passports are considered legitimate,
hmm,
and like, there's no way unless there's biometric data.
yeah,
Like, there's no way to know who these dudes are. So, um, yeah, I agree. Medical, I think being real good with your pistol is probably going to be important. Like,
hmm,
because that's what you're going to have. Like that
pepper
that New
spray.
Orleans that New Orleans attack,
Hmm,
that New Year's
hmm,
attack. Um, that's kind of a in that case. I mean, there's 100 cops in that single block, right? Like that's not something that you or I are going to need to get our gunfight on. But I mean, it could happen when there's not 100 cops right there,
hmm.
and um, we can talk about like our counterterrorism, whatever, like our counterterrorism operating. But like, you're not going to have all that, bro. Like, you're not going to have a team. You're not going to have your hero suit. Like, you're going to have your pistol.
Yeah,
And so, and you're going to be fighting people who are like have rifles and bombs and body armor and
and who don't care.
who don't care. So like you gotta be really good. Now
That's
the
and
cool thing is Americans have a tradition of being really good. Like
yeah,
Elijah Dickin, like that guy in the Texas church, right?
yeah,
That semi-retired cop at the Drum Muhammad contest.
yeah.
uh,
But I mean, so
proud
the
tradition.
the combination of all those, like, there's so many. Like, is it going to be a leftist, you know, some kind of trans rights march that a bunch of other instigators slip into, or is it going to be a march about this thing, or is it going to be a march about that thing, or what is it going to be? Where is it going to come from? Like, there's there's no singular thing to be
No.
worried about right now, but like there's a bunch of pots on the stove, and like little bubbles are starting to come up on just about all of them. So,
So yeah, the little bubbles. Well, I'll say one more thing before I say this. Comms. So
yep,
we've been experiencing cyber attacks. We will continue to experience them, and it's a matter of time before they hit internet and cell simultaneously. And if they do that, if you don't have an alternative,
Mm-hmm.
like it's information dark ages. And I mean, it could literally be Red Dawn in the town next door and you wouldn't know.
Mm-hmm.
So it could be. I'm not saying that's happening, right?
Right.
But
Dude. Yeah.
having an alternative communication method, um, I think is very important. And not only are they doing the cyber attacks, but I mean grid attacks. So uh, all of that, like have an alternate method, and then to go along with all of this, I'd say plans, like
Mm-hmm.
have a comms plan, like have a plan for if the power goes out,
And like
like
again,
all that stuff.
I'm generally rolling solo where I roll, right? So I got to start working on comp plans for different areas where I might
Yep.
be, because I got homies around, but like the to and from, like I'm probably going to be me and the dog. So
I am legend, dude.
hmm so
I almost said
it,
lone survivor. That's a different.
yeah. No,
It's a
were there
different.
dogs in that one? I don't think
That's
there
a
were any
different
dogs.
fictional movie.
Oh shit. Mm. To quote Jay Gibson.
We're just getting the hot takes out here, Brett, baby.
Yeah, but shit.
I am legend. You and the dog. Comms
Hmm.
plans.
So you or you
Oh,
at home,
sweet mother.
right? Like, who do you drive around with? Like, if you got 3 kids and a wife, and there's 5 of you, like, sorting out the comms plan in your head doesn't help your wife contact you when she's got the kids. You know what I mean? Like, if you need to do something, hey, stay here. Let me know if anything's going on. Whatever. Like, you have to start training your family, train those people that
Yep.
are going to be around you, because they're either going to be dead weight and a liability to you and your abilities to protect them, or they can be assets to you. And that that's a choice that you have to make, and explain the importance of it. And again,
For
just like
sure.
that one radio class that I took, right? I should take more, right? Like my wife, and my kids should drill our home intruder, or all of this stuff, right? Because you can play it out and get all the mental reps you want, but if like Murphy is going to show up, dude, so
Yep. For sure.
you need to practice that stuff with them. Probably should be on a decently regular basis. Like, how often did we have to walk outside for a fire drill when we were in school as kids? Was it once a month or something like that? Like, I bet if we only did one fire drill at the beginning of the year, like, we probably wouldn't be as orderly as if we did it every month, but we we'd have a chance to tap into that memory
Yep.
of what the plan was. If no teacher ever said what the fire drill plan was to all the little kids, and like that fucking fire alarm went off and the teacher just like ran out the door, right? Like, if there was
Yeah.
never fire drill 1, then what are your chances?
Yep. 100%. 100%. So, I think it's I agree that it's very possible. I think the small bubbles are coming. The the open source stuff that I've seen indicates 2027, that it's going to take that essentially all those all the funding, the training, the organization had lapsed, and it's going to take them 2 years to spin that back up.
You're talking for like
For
call it
activists,
traditional
activist
terror.
organizations.
You're talking like homegrown stuff, like
Yes.
lefty stuff, or are you talking
homegrown, like the BLM,
not Aloha snack bar type?
The Antifa, the Aloha snack bar is Islamic terror is like overdue. I was watching too much Sarah Adams, but I was surprised when we didn't see a follow up after New Year's. I was ready for the follow up. So, yeah, and who knows? I mean, maybe that is all. Maybe that's all blowing smoke, and it's more information warfare, right? And it's just trying to push fear to the right people so that certain budgets will be opened up and this and that. Like, who knows, man? I don't know. I don't know anything. I'm an idiot and I watch podcasts and stuff. But I mean, there are bad people out there that want to hurt us.
Well, yeah, that's like the way my brain works. You said Sarah Adams made me think of Sean Ryan.
Yep.
Then that made me think of the dude who was on the Sean Ryan show right after the Trump hotel bombing in Vegas. And I'm like, hey, did we ever find out if that was actually the dude or what? Or like how an SF guy thinks that like a couple fireworks are going to blow a Cybertruck and a building up.
Well, the theory on that I heard is he explicitly was like, I don't want to hurt anyone. I just want people to pay attention to me. I don't know, man. I mean, the problem is it's that day. It happened the same day. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And they're both EVs. And I don't know. It's weird. They said it came from, they said the email is legit as far as it came from his computer. Which.
Oh, yeah.
Why would they?
He did. You've seen Swordfish, right?
Oh, yeah.
With John Travolta?
I haven't seen it, but.
My bet's on that. There's like, he needs to like disappear himself. So he like finds a body, like pulls a bunch of blood, puts it in the body, throws the body in a thing.
Well, that was like what they were talking
really
about.
Burnt up. They transferred like a tattoo, like a piece of like that part's not burnt. It was like pretty damn close to what happened or what could possibly have happened with that whole.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, we're never going to know.
No.
So,
but yeah, you're saying, so you think Antifa is somehow 2 years behind in training?
So what happened in 2020 started in 2016. Right? It took them 4 years in a pandemic to mobilize to that level.
Did it? What was the date on George Floyd?
George Floyd was March of 2020.
So you're saying they were getting ready and just looking for an impetus to jump in
big time. Like that.
Get in on.
Yes. they're doing the thing that everybody does, and guess what? Both sides of the aisle do it, right? Where they don't let a tragedy go to waste, right? So something happens, they're gonna jump on that. They're gonna do what they do. I mean, uh, our potential vice president Waltz, right? Like deliberately prevented the National Guard from doing what they should have been doing. And then his wife said that she had the windows open so that she could smell the tires burning because it was justice. Like, I'm certain that that's just a lie. And she's just creating this romantic fantasy in her head that will make her friends think that she's like, she's like Princess Leia in her own mind, right? Like,
yeah.
But
Really, she was like, "Oh my god, what is that smell?" Like someone had to tell her that they're burning tires. That's what that smell is.
Oh, they're burning the city. But yeah, that didn't happen. Like what happened in 2020 was not organic. I don't think it's a hot take to say that. Like they're bussing in people. Like some of it, sure. Like a lot of people are going out there to see a protest, to be a part of something that they feel is important, and maybe it is important, and maybe they believed what they were told in school or what they saw on every news source ever in the whole world. Like, I mean, it's easy for us to sit there and point fingers, but
it might have just been a thing to do, and that's the thing. You could have,
and it for
you could have
sure, like
1,000 people who are there because it's a thing to do on this night, and you got those 1,000 people. You get like 8 dudes who are there to make shit get weird. Like
so out of the
there's gonna
out of the
be
thousand, there might
hundreds of people being weird.
out of the 1,000, there's 100 that are weird already, and then you get those 8 pros that are gonna come in, and they're gonna look around, and they're gonna be like, if I light that garbage can on fire, like if I throw this thing at this cop, and what they're doing is they're like cranking around. Basically, I'm surprised nobody's done this, actually, literally, but like cranking around off to try and get the gunfight started. But yeah, but all of that, most of that was not. It was not organic. Like people were coming in for those things. They're traveling the country to do it. They're being bussed around. They're being flown around. They're being organized. They're being told what to say. Everybody's got this, like they're being handed signs. People are not making signs in their house. Like this is not Woodstock. Okay.
We gotta get the pallets of bricks delivered.
Yes, random pallets of bricks dropped off. Like so, like that didn't happen. Like that took time to make that happen, to organize, train, fund, mobilize, and
Doge cut their funding.
Well, USAID, yeah, or USA International Development, because that's the real name. I mean, your shirt says it all, man. Like calling it USAID is using the newspeak. Like that's they deliberately did that to obscure what they do. So So, bro, how about the people on social media that say unalive?
Unalive? Yeah, because you're not allowed to say the words. We've probably said words that I don't think this can be demonetized.
Well, nobody's watching, dude.
Damn.
Especially not an hour and 35 minutes in, bro. But anyway, yeah. So point being, get good at medical, get good with your gun, have a plan, have some comms. Yeah. Be ready for weirdness, man.
Armor, like if we're gonna start talking, gear stuff, other stuff to have, like have armor, you know, even if it's soft armor, that you got a couple sets of soft armor in the car, you know, for you and the fam, like start taking some precautions. Keep your head on a swivel. It was hot out in Texas today. Like we're getting close to summer. It always happens in summers. Like I don't know. Last time they were trying to make sure Trump didn't get reelected. This time they might want to try and get him out before he does anything. Who knows? Are they like, hey, we need to just kick it off now because we're only going to get weaker and weaker as this term goes on. So I really I can hope that it doesn't happen, but I'm taking the stance that bad shit's gonna happen. It's gonna get fucking hot out there in the streets this summer. So be ready for it.
I mean,
without a doubt,
it will for somebody somewhere,
dude.
like without a doubt.
Yeah.
So,
like worst case scenario, you're better prepared for whatever random, like just human emergency and violence you encounter thereafter.
Yep, for sure. All right, man. Well, I appreciate you coming on. Hopefully some people find it entertaining.
I think so. I'm going to be interested to read the comment section.
Oh, dude, there's going to be 2, and they're going to be dudes
Still, that's why they might be good ones.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. All right, man. Well,
all right,
Lewis with LCAR, do you have I can just put your social media like in the description.
In the description, yeah, it's LCAR Concepts or LCAR _concepts on all the social medias where you got to do the underscore. LCAR -concepts for the website. All that stuff. Like, and then after that, like if that's not enough of a bread trail, then I'll steal a little bit more from Jaeger and be like, then fuck you. You don't deserve my training.
All right. Well, if you can't find him, I'll just give you guys his personal cell. So no problem. We'll get you sorted out. Go get training. Yeah. Go see Lewis. Come see me. Or I don't even care, man. Go do whatever. But so Lewis, and then I'm Reed with Rapid Response Training, and yeah, get ready for stay ready so you ain't got to get ready. Don't be weird.